The I Am Rapaport app is available for free download on all Apple and Android platforms. Once the app is downloaded, go to IamRapaport.com and click the Get It Now tab to sign up for premium access. Listen to me. Tuesday and Friday episodes are free on the app. Premium access gets you all the primetime Wednesday, emergency, and archive episodes, plus exclusive videos and bonus content. What, you don't have premium access? Here is what you missed. Here I am alone in the gloom tomb. Game 7. This is why I podcast.
Hi, I have Metal World Peace on the line.
5 minutes, right?
5 minutes. 2 questions for the great Brian Scalabrine. Today, we're going deep to celebrate the great James Brown. Steven Jackson, how you feeling, my man?
LeBron, he was a rookie. He came and tried to dunk on me, and I have footage of it. I grabbed him and slammed him to the ground, and this wasn't even the playoffs. There's only room for 4 people on the banana boat.
Download the I Am Rapaport app today. All right. Everybody knew it was coming. We're here. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast review is in effect. And when I say review, we have been reviewing things like Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We have been reviewing things like Kanye West's new album. We have been reviewing things like the quintessential MC, Black Thought from the Roots, new record. We're breaking all that down. Plus, we have sick fucks of the week. Plus, this is going to blow your fucking mind. Everybody was caught up in the controversy of what went right, what went wrong with the refs in Game 1. Well, we have Tim Donaghy. You know who Tim Donaghy? Remember Tim Donaghy? He refereed in the NBA for 13 seasons in the NBA. He was the ref who was mixed up in the allegations that he bet on games. He was sentenced in federal prison. That guy, Tim Donaghy, he's been a friend of mine. We've been talking. He came on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. He's breaking down verbatim from the playbook, from the referee book, from the referee guide, what the fuck happened in Game 1, all that and more on a smash mouth, explosive, high octane, hard body karate, I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast coming up next. Miles, Jordan, let me get something funky. Let me get something nasty. All right. G Moody, last name rhymes with duty.
Yo.
Game 1 is in the books. Kanye West put out an album and had a fucking listening party in Wyoming with all these music critics. Whatever the fuck that is, a music critic. And influencers, which even more so, what the fuck is that, an influencer? And all these celebrities were flown out to Wyoming. And they after all the fuck Kanye's dead to me, he's a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. They got on the private jets that Kanye sent for them. They all came out to Wyoming. Didn't watch Game 1 of the NBA Finals. They didn't do that. But they went out to Kanye West. He had a fucking bonfire and a listening party for his record. I mean, you couldn't pry me away from a TV for Game 1 of the NBA Finals to go out to Wyoming and listen to this fucking wackadoo's record. Can you imagine missing the historical Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night? Can you imagine missing LeBron James going for 51 points to go out to Wyoming and sit outside in the fucking cold and listen to that bullshit?
Oh, damn, he had him out there in the cold?
Oh,
he had him outside?
It's outside in the cold in Wyoming. The
Man.
music, we got so much to talk about. First of all, what is a music critic? How are you a music critic? Music is such a thing that goes into your body, and it's such something that you respond to from your DNA, and you respond to from the cells in your body. You know, it's such a something that you absorb. You either take to it or not. How could you be a music critic? Like,
Right.
how can you, like, it's so sort of specific to each person.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck is an influencer? These influencers went out there, Chris Rock and Jonah Hill and Kid Cudi and all these people, they get flown out there. Why you didn't get some people from the projects? Some hip-hop fans, some people on the corner that are going to either like your shit and listen to your shit or not. I don't need no music critics to tell me if my record is good or fucking influencers, people with like a lot of Instagram followers and Twitter followers, and their word means shit. Your word doesn't mean shit to me. First of all, you've been to movie premieres.
Yeah.
They're a very seductive thing. You know, you go to the movie premiere, everybody's dressed up, everybody smells good. There's an air of excitement in the room. You know, everybody who's in the movie, who worked their ass to get the movie made, their friends, their family, their loved ones, they're all there. So this is not an unbiased audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. That's his crew.
That's your crew. So imagine getting flown out on private jets to Wyoming. And Nas is there, and Chris Rock is there, and you know, this one is there, and that one's there. You're already not giving a biased opinion of what you're listening to. Kim Kardashian is there. She was just there with Trump, the star power. They probably had, you know, sushi hors d'oeuvres and lobster tails. And yo, I don't need no music critics and no big listening party for your shit. It was either dope or it's not dope.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning and I woke up specifically to get prepared for this I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast and to listen to this dude's record. I took my dog, Wheezy, the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast news dog, took him for a walk, put my earphones on, put my phone on airplane mode, and I listened to his record twice. And I'm going to tell you, and I said on the last podcast last week that the Pusha T record, which was also produced by Kanye West, I don't have a problem. I'm not banning Kanye West's music. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about his political beliefs. I said that. Either the music's dope or not. I like the Pusha T record. He produced it. I listened to the Kanye record twice. It's dog shit. It's trash. None of these music critics or influencers, they're all on Twitter saying, oh, this was a great experience. This song is this song is that. Fuck out of here. I listened to that record twice. G, you have to listen twice.
Why is it trash?
Yo, there's no smackers. Number one. Like either something makes your face, like you put on James Brown. You put on Eric B for President. You hear Check the Rhyme by Tribe Called Quest. You hear Poetry by KRS-One. You don't need any explanation. Right?
True.
You don't need any you don't need to go into your cerebral part of your brain to sort of process it. It's either dope or it's not dope. You listen to Stevie Wonder. You listen to a great Led Zeppelin song. You listen to a great Miles Davis song. You listen to anything. It's either dope or it's not fucking dope. Like when you have to start going into the third parameter of your cerebral part of your brain to sort of go, well, he's trying to do this. It's either dope or it's not dope. That's like a magician, who's doing a basic trick. He's trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Oh, but you see the rabbit and the trick isn't there. But, well, maybe. Nah, there's no maybe. It's either funky or it's not funky. You listen to Flavor in Your Ear, like the Craig Mack Biggie remix. The first time you heard it, you were like, yo, that is some shit right there. Like, you either respond to it or not. You listen to The Corner by Kanye. That joint, it's either a banger or it's not a banger. Right. Homeboy so it's some. It
didn't have any feel. You just every song had no feel to it, no funkiness. You just didn't understand it, or what? I mean,
no funk. There's no funk. There's no funk. And I know for you, that's rule number one.
Oh yeah, hip hop is funk. I don't know what happened to it, but
there's no funk. There's no funk.
I mean, that's crazy that you would go into the studio and not have the intention of making it as funky as possible, so people could actually, get down to it, check the rhymes out. That's what I thought the original art form was about. But it's changed. It's something else now. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now. But for the next I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast, matter of fact, when we do the live show Sunday, we are pre-gaming. Me and G Moody are doing the pregame in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
At the Clusterfest Comedy and Music Festival. This weekend, 5 p.m. in San Francisco, me and G Moody, we are the best pregame show in the entire world. We are performing at 5 o'clock in San Francisco, clusterfest.com. The last time we were in San Francisco, that was the rowdiest crowd we'd ever performed in front of. Okay?
Yep.
We're shutting it down. 5 to 6, an hour on stage. Moody, I am demanding that you listen to the Kanye West record at least 2 times before that show to give your full insight and review. But if you want to see me and G Moody live in San Fran Sunday before Game 2 of the NBA Finals, we will be there. Clusterfest.com. Get your tickets. You know what we do live. We're going to put on a good show. But the thing about this record, like I said, I don't care about Kanye West's personal opinions. I could care less either way about what this dude's talking about, the MAGA hat. I was offended, just like everybody else, by his dumb comments against slavery. But if you listen to this record, you'll know this guy's fucking batshit crazy. He's got major problems. It's scattered. He's still singing on the records. Nobody is telling him, Kris Kardashian, come get your man, not Kim, the mother. Come get your man and tell him, stop singing on the records, Duke. You're not Donny Hathaway. You're not Teddy Pendergrass. Your voice is not good for singing.
I don't know where that came from. I asked that years ago. Who told him that he could sing, and who told him that sounds good? In the studio, your friends and your homies supposed to say, yo, I'm going to kick it to you, man. You my man and everything. But, yo, cut that singing out. Like, it doesn't sound good.
Get Keith Sweat up in there to sing or something like that.
Yeah.
Get Aaron Hall from Guy in there to sing. You can't sing, Money.
Yeah, it doesn't sound, it's not good sonically to the ears, but he knows all these motherfuckers out here, sheep, whatever he puts out, whatever he throws out there, they'll suck it in. That's why he got all the pomp and circumstance. You got to bring a guy, people all the way into Wyoming. Why? Yo, you just have a fucking a music listening shit in Chicago, and boom, your shit got all this shit. That's how you know this shit is whack. You're doing all that.
It's whack. It is whack. And I'm going to say it for the last time. I like the production on the Pusha T record. So this isn't like a fuck Kanye thing. That record is trash. It's trash. And Homeboy, like the shit that he's kicking on there, it's like overly sentimental and self-indulgent. Yeah, my man, save that shit for your diary entries, my man. I know it's like art needs to be personal. Like, yo, you then don't put the music out. Just listen to it with the Jenners and the Kardashians. Play it for them. They're going to sit there and tell you it's great. You play it for me. I'm telling you this morning, I listened to it 2 times all the way through with headphones. No interruption. It was whack as fuck. It's whack. You know what's not whack? And it's really sad that it's gonna sort of be swept away because all the music critics and influencers, there's such big influencers and music critics. How is that even a job?
Check it out, Rap. Like Parrish Smith said from EPMD, music critic could get the Diddick. That's how we look at him.
Music critics could get the Diddick.
Shout out to EPMD.
A record that I'm not going to let get swept away and swept under the rug. It's short. I think it's like this. I think is like a maxi single or an EP, but it's banger, 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 and it shows, improves, and it does not disappoint. The great, I call him the quintessential MC, Black Thought. Black Thought put out a joint with 5 joints on it. Okay, so it's an EP. It's an EP, but All 5 are smackers. And all 5 show the lyricism and the wordplay and every single word and every single line is hit, and his voice and the command of the craft. Download or buy Streams of Thought Volume 1 by Black Thought from The Roots. That's the record motherfuckers should be talking about. And all these music critics, all they're going to talk about is this fucking nutcase and his self-indulgent bullshit, over-sentimental bonfire bullshit.
I like, but Black Thought, that's to be expected. His name, that they're synonymous with putting out funky hip-hop shit. So, I've always liked them. They never kind of veered away from that because that's what it's about. That's what they love to do. You make them beats hard. You hear him in the studio blasting. It's good. He's always been good.
Matter of fact, Miles, play a little bit of that Dostoevsky.
I said, Dostoevsky meets Joe Pesci. Tired of staring at a glass half empty. Turning me from Dr. Sebi to cock and semi. It got me clutching my machete from the Serengeti already. Wild styles, I'm Fab Five Freddy. I'm a stranger in Moscow. Don't ask how deadly it's the Uma. Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah. To the Tripoli shore from the halls of Montezuma. Stop intruder. I'm built on facts. I'm not your rumor. A malignant tumor. Slid through in a suede puma. The steady, heavy, legendary. All praises overdue. Same cloth as the chosen few. Rap Noble Drew. I guarantee you no more music by the suckers. It's not a victimless crime if anybody suffers.
See, that's what it's all about. Hey, listen. It happens to athletes and artists. Some people equate athletes as artists. I heard Kevin Durant talking about it. I do too. Allen Iverson, in my opinion, was an artist. It was an expression of his emotions. Listen, boxers, you take one too many punch to the head, you're not the same. It happened to, Sugar Ray Robertson, obviously the great Muhammad Ali, and hundreds and hundreds of other boxers. Movie directors, Francis Ford Coppola, he put everything on the line with his first few movies, The Conversation, Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now. And then like, like something clicks and you're not the same. It happened to Brian De Palma. Made a bunch of good movies. Not the same. Yeah, Kanye West made a bunch of good music. He's not the same guy. It's over. It's amazing that Jay-Z is able to sustain himself for as long as he has. Even Eminem, he's still ultra talented, but his last 2 records, nothing. It's not that his rhymes are still good, but you lose your perspective. Perspective is a lot. We could sit here, me and G Moody, we know. I could already tell you right now, this episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast is a banger. Sometimes it'll be like, this segment wasn't good, or, let's cut that wasn't good, that didn't land. You have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're doing art, any sort of artistic thing, or like if you're playing a game, like, I had a fucked up game. I missed all these shots. I wasn't on my shit. I didn't play good defense. I was lazy. I was sluggish. I wasn't as focused. We do the podcast. Same thing. As an actor, I could say some days like you click and you're in the zone. You got all your lines now. You're hitting all your marks. It's just candy. Some days it's not. You can lose your perspective where you think what you're doing is dope, and it's not dope. And I am telling you right now, that Kanye West record is not motherfucking dope. Period.
Hey, I understand. I expect it to be some weirdo shit.
It got more weird. This is what I thought. You expected it to be weirdo shit. I thought, because of all the chaos that's been going on with this nut job in the last few weeks, that he was going to be like, I'm going to make the like just a straight hip hop. I'm going to give the people what they want to sort of like prove like I still got it. Well, this is the worst record you've ever put out, homeboy. I'm saying it's trash. And all these music critics and influencers and celebrities that are out there that went on Twitter and Instagram that got seduced by the crab rolls and the private jets, they are all bugging. No disrespect to any of them. but they're fucking bugging. Every single one of them that try to tell you, yo, I was in Wyoming. It was an incredible experience. I'm sure it was a beautiful experience. You got flown on a private jet to Wyoming. The landscape is fantastic. The mountains, the fresh air. I'm sure it was a beautiful experience. But is the record good or is the record not good? That's it. Fucking it. They should have been flown out, Scoob Lover and Scrap Lover, the former dancers of Big Daddy Kane. These guys get down. Either they're going to be able to rock and dance and start doing all that wild shit or not. When Kim Kardashian and Kris Kardashian are your sounding board for your musical ideas in the genre of hip hop, you're fucked.
Yeah, he's in a different world, man. And hey, this is what you put out to the world. That's what it is. You know it's bullshit. Don't try to pull the wool over the people's eyes. You know yourself that shit is whack.
All right, Miles Jordan, let me get something funky to transition into the game. Play me something that's not whack, Miles. Give me a smacker that's not whack to prove to the people we know what's funky. So everybody that's listening to this, they're going to be like, ooh, give me something. There it is. All right, game one. I'm not even going to get into the call. We have Tim Donaghy coming up on the show later on, and he knows the game inside and out, and he knows the mentality of the NBA,
absolutely,
and the mentality of the referees. Like homeboy, he keeps it really, really, really real.
Of course.
Gerald's favorite player of all time, LeBron James, 51 points. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. One guy.
The thing that's craziest, most impressive to me about him this point is, forget the basketball skills, is his endurance and stamina, is like the fact that he's able to just go and go and go and go and go and seemingly doesn't get tired, and he stays focused is beyond all the other things. I will say this, Moody, and I want to hear what you say about this, because I was watching that fuck last night real closely.
All right.
Every time he goes to the basket, when he goes to the right, when he goes to the basket with his right hand, he pushes off with his left hand. I want you to watch that going forward. Every single time he goes to the basket, he pushes off with his left hand.
Yo, do you know that these are men, and this is the NBA, and that's the number one star in the league, and basketball is contact. That's part of the game. If I get a little angle on you, of course my arm going to go to shield you off a little bit. And you watching that, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? That's basketball, man.
No, but the reason why I'm saying it is because the rules state that the defender, if they put their hand on you, they call it. I saw a guy last in the Houston series. I can't remember what his name was. It was like light-skinned dude, or he might have been a foreign dude. I can't remember his name. He literally had his fingertips on Steph Curry 5 feet behind the three-point line. He was like, he had his hands on him to sort of like, so he wouldn't go by him. Like he had his hand extended, he had his fingertips on him, and they called it. If the defender touches you, you get the foul called. But the biggest, strongest player, watch it, check it out. Every time, I'm not saying sometimes, I watched it last night, and I just complimented him. Guy's a fucking animal. 51 points. He's a fucking beast. Every time he goes to the basket, he pushes off with his left hand. I'm just saying, again, with the referees, they let him get away with that shit. You wouldn't get away with that shit. Other player wouldn't be able to do that every time he goes to the basket.
Well, he earned that. He earned that. This dude came from high school. This dude earned all that. So he's afforded some of the, he afforded that. So, but we don't got to talk about him, because it's self-explanatory what he did.
Who do you want to talk about? We don't need to talk about the call. Who do you want to talk
Hill.
about? Who?
George Hill. If he makes that second free throw, there's no fucking conversation. He's the guy. It ain't even JR. JR did bonehead shit. But if this dude makes the free throw, JR doesn't have the opportunity to fuck up. So it should all be on that guy. Cleveland wins the game if he makes the free throw. So he should be feeling like a shithead and not J.R. Smith.
Well, so do you think I should ILO George Hill or J.R. Smith? Because I think
no J.R. because of the fucking behavior, like he was like fucking in a insane asylum. You're supposed to go right up with the ball. This guy ran to the fucking back.
J.R. Smith got the rebound. All he had to do was shoot the ball. He was right there.
Right. Yeah, it's a putback. And he goes away from the court. Yo, that's
Where
a
the
real...
fuck are you going? What the fuck are you doing? Give me the fuck. LeBron should have ILO'd it. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You weed-smoking cocksucker. Yo, he said, I thought we were up. They showed it on the thing. You could read his lips. He said, I thought we were up. You're not fucking winning. You dumb cocksucker, you.
Damn. Yo, there's no excuse. Jesus. You're going to, if they don't win this series, that's going to be the legacy for you of his career.
Well, he's had so many of these situations. He was in shit last year in the finals. We were talking about him last year in the finals. The year before when they did win, he was great, especially in Game 7. I don't remember the points, but he won them the game. He had like 13 points or 16 points in the fourth quarter. He was knocking down threes. He made all the big shots. Obviously, Kyrie made shots too, and he made the shot. But J.R. Smith was balling. He was balling. That's the year he was walking around with his shirt off, remember? Because he like earned the right to act like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. But now.
Yo, I hate to say
terrible.
it. I hate to say it. They had the Warriors on the ropes. The call, I'm going to let Donaghy break that down. He breaks down verbatim from the rule book and everything he knows about it. Tim Donaghy, he's going to break down that call later on in the episode. But they had him. Cleveland had him. Yep. They had him.
Think about this. Let me just say this, and you could go on. Look at LeBron's team, right? And look at the other team. They got the other team. Golden State has 4 basically Hall of Famers, and LeBron got these guys where they could have won. They could have beat. They could have won the game. So, and look at his team versus the team he's playing. So
they're fucked now, though.
That leads me to believe that everybody's saying this is a cakewalk just from visually watching Golden State. It's not, because you have this X Factor dude that's an all-around player that actually makes everyone better. So it kind of evens up shit, and you saw it last night. Because visually, you would think Golden State would just blow these guys out.
Well, I think that they're fucked. I think that was their shot last night, and they're fucked.
If you split, you good. So
I know, but I really think that losing that way and the way that they lost, like that was. I mean, listen. Yeah, I was on the edge of that shit's fucked up. But like Donaghy's gonna say, like, yo, these things have been happening. Listen. That call was fucked up. J.R. Smith fucked up. This one played good. All that shit. It don't matter. Cleveland, they were looming around. They dealt with the flurry. They stayed close. And, it didn't happen. And me as a fan, even though I'm glad Golden State won, the call, not call. And I'm going to let Donaghy explain what it should have been. What it really should have been based on the rules. And then the J.R. Smith, it doesn't, I don't know, man. It's fucked up. It's just the same thing like with the Draymond when they suspended him for the phantom dick kick. There got to be a way to just, we want the players to decide who wins the game. That's it. Yeah. That's it. You want the players, and may the best man and may the best team win.
Reversing a call. That is ultimate. Like, as a policy, it should be like, yo, at the end of the game, we not reversing no shit unless it's fucking flagrant. Then everybody see. That was sketchy, and it lends to some bullshit, yo. Because, I'm telling you, LeBron's going to win this shit, man. You're going to be like, oh, shit, LeBron's going to win this shit.
He not winning. If they had won last night, I would say, you'd hear a different thing from me. They're fucked. How can you even entrust J.R. Smith now? Like, you got to be like, Think about the ramifications. Like, there's no bouncing back from that. That dude is a big part of that team. Like, and you're like, yo, you gotta look at him like, yo, you're a dumb fuck. Like, I'm not just saying you're a dumb fuck. You actually have earned the right to be. You got all them tattoos. If he had a tattoo put on himself that said dumb fuck, no one would say, why do you have dumb fuck tattooed on you?
Yeah. Based on how the Cleveland played last night, tells me they're going to win the fucking series.
All right.
Because Golden State, physicality, those dudes don't want it. You could see it. And when them jumpers start missing, that's what happens. Physicality makes the jumpers off.
I don't think there's a physicality. I don't think Cleveland plays some physical brand of basketball.
No, they get up in them. It's about getting up in them. Like at half. That's what it's about. All that shooting jumpers and all that, you start to get up in them at half, all that shit change. And that's what we saw last night, bro.
Before we get into these sick fucks, this guy is being celebrated. This fucking guy is being celebrated. An Uber driver.
Oh, no.
This guy, he is an Uber driver, young kid. I get what you're trying to do, homie, but I'm letting you know right now, you're the problem. He's a young kid, an Uber driver. Seems like a nice kid. He got all these different playlists in his cars. He made playlists for white guys that look like they like hip-hop, femmes, 30s to 40s, 20s to 30s basics, white males in their early 20s, all the kind of different people that ride in his car. And he even has a playlist for quiet people. Now, if you have a playlist for quiet people and you think they're quiet, what makes you think they want to hear your bullshit, Duke? You are one of these Uber drivers who thinks you're part of the show. I didn't get in the car. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to say it one more time. I get in the car to get from one place to another place. I didn't get in there for the show. Yeah. I'm not in here for you to try to audition for me. I'm not in here for you to try to, for us to bond. I don't give a fuck what your playlist is, Duke. You see, I got these headphones on. I'm not trying to talk to you. Like, I'm not trying to, get on your good side, and you're not getting on my good side, Duke. I don't give a fuck what you got in the playlist. Don't speak to me.
Exactly. And the guy got the racial identity playlist.
Yes, he does. He's proud of it. These are for white guys in their mid-20s, white women, 30, 40s, feminists, white dudes that might like hip-hop.
Oh, my God. Oh, he's actually home curating a racial identity playlist, as if you could look at a person and say, well, I think they like that. You're being prejudiced. You're being racist, too.
How about you keep your fucking eyes on the road and you keep your fucking mouth shut? That's it. That's what I want. Keep your fucking eyes on the road. Keep two hands on the fucking wheel and zip the fucking lip. Shut your fucking pie hole.
Yeah. And what's the title? Uber driver, not Uber DJ. Driver. We want wheels. We'll handle the rest. Shut the fuck up.
Guys think they're part of the show. I don't want to hear any of that. Think I want to hear from you, hear about what you got to say and your taste in music, and you're gonna assume I like. That shit is trash, Duke. You got any Just Ice? You don't have any Just Ice in here?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Fuck is you talking about, Duke? Nah, nah. You got beat nuts? Nah, turn this shit off, Duke.
Yeah, just cut it off. Oh, shit, man. Before you get to these six fucks, we was talking about this the other time. Starbucks put out their 68-page race manifesto, man.
I know.
Did you hear it? It said, instead of colorblind, we're going to be learning to be color brave. What the fuck is that? We're going to respect the customer spaces. I say your Starbucks is turning into a politically correct homeless shelter. The name on your cup will now be written in shit.
I agree. I went to my local Starbucks the other day and I was talking to them about the, one of the misconceptions is that the way it was presented is that I'm sure they might have done this at some places, but the majority of the Starbucks, when they shut it, it was like a cyber thing. And you got on your computer. That's how they had the 2-hour racial. What is it? What is it called? Racial.
Sensitivity.
Right. Racial sensitivity
like
training.
Yo, that's it. Wait, you'll start to see everything decline.
I just want my
slowly
coffee.
but surely.
I just want my coffee. I go in there and I'm going to be honest. When I go in my Starbucks now, I'm looking to see if there's like, dudes with shit in their pants. I'm not lying. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm looking like who's in here, what's popping, what's really good in my Starbucks. Miles Jordan, let me get that sick fuck of the week music. This award is earned, not given. It's called the sick fuck of the week. This guy's really sick. Lock him up. How could you do it? Don't let him out. Damn. You fucked the dog? You what? You fucked the dog? Why would you fuck the dog? Why would you fuck your girlfriend's dog? What sick fuck? The sick fuck of the week. It's earned. Earned. Not given. You did. What? No. No. No! Okay. Sick fuck of the week. This is an award that is earned, not given. This is an award that is earned, but not given. Televangelist Jesse Duplantis, who already has 3 private jets. It's one of these fake guys that thinks he's got a God or Jesus Christ or some sort of phone number or text relationship with God, Jesus Christ. He's a televangelist. One of these con men, pimps, hustlers that lives in a mansion. He already has 3 planes. 3 private planes. This is a man of the faith, a man of the cloth. This piece of shit. This sick fuck, Jesse Duplantis, wants his followers to fund a 4th plane for $54 million. He said that God told him he needs a Falcon 7X plane, and his followers need to raise $54 million so he can have his 4th private plane. This is a sick fuck. This is everything that is indicative of a true blue sick fuck. It's an award that's earned, not given. This motherfucker has earned it.
Oh, man. But do you give it to him or do you give it to the people who actually will donate money? It has to be a double. It has to be a sick fuck of the week because he could ask for that, right? You have the option to say, yo, get the fuck out of here. I ain't giving you shit. And you give him that. You're the sick fuck as well, man. You can't leave those people out.
Absolutely. But that's going to be like hundreds of thousands of them, and it's hard to identify sick fucks in packs of thousands.
Blankets.
Second sick fuck of the week. In Arizona, this is really, I hope this guy gets as much jail time as he possibly can to learn a lesson. A 22-year-old man was arrested. He was at a Disney World Contemporary Resort in Arizona. This piece of shit, this sick fuck, did a YouTube stunt after he announced that there was an active shooter running around. Obviously, people were scared to death. There's so many kids there. There's families there. All this for YouTube, to get YouTube fame. Dylan Birch, who was highly intoxicated, was running up to guests at the Disney resort, telling them they had to evacuate because there was an active shooter. People were freaking out, crying, and it was all being filmed to get on YouTube. Lock them up.
Yeah. No trial. And, that's it. We're going to determine the amount of time. We're not going to have a trial. You're guilty. We're trying to pinpoint how much time you should get. So just wait in the cell. That's it.
Before I go further, I want to continue to thank all the people that are sending us the sick fuck of the week candidates. I want to give another shout out to the Relentless. I mean, he's relentless. This guy, I'm telling you, he's got a nose for sick fucks. Mike Schaefer, we call him the sick fuck of the week whisperer. And all the other fans that are sending me and Moody and the Dust Brothers the sick fucks. Keep them coming. This guy, a guy named Ernest Maines. Do you know this guy?
Nope.
Oh, well, if you look up Ernest Maines, you'll see that he looks like a sick fuck. And it's not being made up. He actually looks like a sick fuck. He set a fire. He wanted to watch the world burn. He set a fire of a home that had a horse stable. He wanted to see things blow up and, a quote, watch the world burn. This piece of shit killed 6 horses and a dog and obviously, set a fire and caused all kinds of destruction in Colorado. 6 horses and a dog were killed. Fortunately, no people were hurt. The fire was put out by the firefighters. This poor bloodhound named Rimby, may he rest in peace, was burned to death by this sick fuck, along with 6 horses. Shout out to my mom, June Brody, who just had LASIK surgery. She's fine, minor surgery to get her eye game right. She doesn't want to be walking around with the bifocals. But this guy, Ernest Sunday Maines, congratulations, my friend. You killed 6 horses and a dog, and you are in the top 15 of the sick fucks of the year so far.
No jail?
He's locked up. They're going to lock him up.
Oh, good. Good time.
Florida man, and they never disappoint in Clearwater, Florida, the home of Scientology in Florida, by the way, was arrested. He was at a bus stop on Bay Boulevard at 11 in the morning, and he was there choking his chicken. He had his pants pulled down. He was choking his chicken, and the police caught him. When they found him choking his chicken, he said, "I wasn't choking my chicken. I was scratching myself," which you got to laugh at that. You got to laugh at that. Then he told the people that his name was Captain Kirk. The man has been arrested and indecent exposure and so forth and so on. Congratulations, James Bundrick, 56-year-old man. He's facing charges of also a false name, false identity, and choking his chicken in public. Again, earned, not given, sick fuck of the week. Fantastic. Finally, man, a guy adopted a dog from a shelter, which is nice. He wanted to get a dog. He picked up a puppy, a pit bull mix. One of the best kinds of dog to get, a pit bull mix. My dog has a little pit bull in him. Any kind of mutt dog, rescue dog, these dogs will love you. Like man's best friend, truly indicative, man's best friend. This piece of shit got a dog named Titan in Dallas from an animal rescue group. The dog was found a few days later with a gunshot to the head. The man has been arrested. The man has been found. He put it in a notorious dumping ground for trash, occasionally human bodies. This is from the police. The rescue group found the dog. The man has been arrested. Welcome to the sick fuck of the week group. You're amongst good company. What can I say? I mean, why are you going to adopt a dog and then kill it?
Man, I think jail time and a Wonder Bread bag just for the ruthlessness of that.
No problem, Judge Moody. All right, Listen, coming up next, if you like basketball, and I know a lot of people like basketball, Tim Donaghy, he refereed in the NBA for 13 years. He's the guy that got mixed up in the allegations that he bet on games. He did his time. I've been speaking to him on emails and texts for a few years. He hit me this morning about the rules of the NBA for Game 1. So I said, let's get on the podcast. He breaks it down. He breaks down the calls that went against James Harden in the Western Conference Finals, Golden State and Houston. And it's as real as it gets. Basketball officiating in the NBA. Who was hard to officiate against? Like what players were just hard to officiate for? And so much more. But we focus on Game 1 and the call that was overturned. Coming up next, Tim Donaghy on the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Let's go.
Hello?
Tim, it's Mike Rapaport.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
I'm good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing terrific, my man.
All right, good. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's funny because we've never spoken. We've been tweeting and texting and emailing for a while. So this is a good time to have you on because I'm everybody's in the uproar about Game 1 and the call of the charge that turned into free throws. So I'll let you take the floor. Game 1, what did you think of the charge call that was overturned, that was turned around into Kevin Durant shooting free throws? It was a big game changer last night.
Absolutely, Michael. I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm confused because I know what the rules are. So I'm basically, rushing to my computer and, figuring out if it's just a situation where, I'm confused. I know what the rule is. It's a difference of opinion by two referees. One's calling a block and one's calling a charge. So I'm wondering how you can turn that into giving Durant 2 free throws when the rule clearly states in that situation it's a jump ball between any 2 opponents at the center circle. And they didn't do that. And I know that the rule changed last year to where you could review a play if it had to do with the restricted area, and if he's out, then determine if it was a block charge. But it should have never come to that because the rule states that when you have that difference of opinion by 2 referees who signal that it's supposed to be a jump ball to avoid a bunch of, situations where one guy overrules another guy. So it's just a very confusing situation, and that's why I think the fans are continuously confused about how the NBA office and how the NBA referees call a game. There's no consistency.
So obviously you didn't call the game, but how does something like that happen? Like, these guys they're in the season, they're in the championship, they're in the finals. I'm talking about the referees. Obviously, these are all good refs. They're fine tuned. They know the stakes. How does a decision like that happen? I know there's like energy, and they're humans. You guys are all humans. How does something like that happen, where it goes from being overturned? It doesn't turn into a jump ball. It turns into free throws.
It's confusion and not applying the rules. I think this is a protestable situation.
Wow.
We've seen in the past where, when a rule's set aside, that they've gone back and they replay the game from the point of interruption to where the mistake was made. I think this is one of those situations. It's the NBA Finals. It's a pivotal game. There was a rule set aside. I mean, it's clearly in the rule book. Page 47, letter F. I went and looked it up to make sure that it was still there, and it was. So I don't know what the league's going to do because nobody's talking about that. They're all talking about, switching, going to replay, which really, to me, the situation that everybody should be in an uproar about, especially Cleveland, is the fact that it was a opinion that one had a block, one had a charge. They both signaled, and the rule states when that happens that you have a jump ball at the center circle. So
both referees signal. One was block, one was charge, and then it's crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy that happened on the biggest stage last night.
And then to top it all off, Michael, you have Steve Javi who goes on ABC and says it's a offensive foul, and then you have Joe Borgia who goes on NBA TV and says it's a block. 2 guys that work in that NBA office. So there's no consistency. It's really you're refereeing names on the front and back of jerseys rather than rules as they're written in the rule book, and that's why everyone gets pissed off.
Do you think the replay is good or bad in general? Like, what are your thoughts on the replay?
I think the replay is good. I know the referees hate it because it embarrasses them. It overturns their calls. It's a situation though where why is just the last 2 minutes of a game important to go to the replay? There should be some situation in place like they have in football where coaches have a certain amount of challenges per game, and if they're right, they get another one. This way, you're not going to have the referees out there refereeing names on the front and back of jerseys because they're going to get embarrassed if their calls keep getting overturned through replay. And they're going to call what happens out on the floor based on the rules, as they're written in the rule book and not based on names on jerseys. And that's what they do all too often.
When you were refereeing games, like they've talked about certain players, throughout history, obviously going back to Wilt Chamberlain and then Shaquille. And in my opinion, LeBron is a hard person to referee because he's so physically strong. People bounce off of him. It's like, as a fan and the announcers, they sometimes say, well, we let, the defenders punch and smack and claw at Shaquille O'Neal. We let the defenders punch and claw and smack at LeBron James because of their physical size. When you were refereeing, who would you say, if there is a person, was the hardest person to be as biased as you possibly could to call fouls against or for? Was there one player that it was challenging?
Definitely Shaquille O'Neal, because like you just said, he was so big, strong, and powerful. When he turned around and got through people and dunked and two people were hanging all over him, he was fouled, but it really didn't affect the shot. And if it went in and he dunked it, we let it go. Really, you shouldn't do that. A foul's a foul, whether he makes the shot or not. That's why sometimes you'll see referees come up with such a late whistle as somebody powers through contact, and if they miss the shot, they'll blow the whistle, and if they don't, they let it go.
Do you think that LeBron gets the same thing? Because, I have my personal feelings about him, but last night was like, it was like Mozart. It was like Picasso performance. He's ridiculous. Do you think the referees, inadvertently let him take more pounding than they let any player in the league right now?
Definitely going to the basket, because you look at him and you look at his physique compared to everybody else on that floor. He's just so much bigger, stronger, and powerful than anyone that's on that floor at this time, that, he's able to get through the contact very easily to where other guys like a Seth Curry would be on the ground. So right. He's like a running back going through the offensive line that nobody can touch because he's so much bigger, stronger, and powerful than everybody else. So he gets through it. And I think that's what happens.
What do you think the outcome of Game 1 is going to be going forward in the series? Do you think the referees or the league, everybody's human, and you try to do it as biasly as you possibly can. Is this going to change, the way refereeing is done? Obviously, this mistake probably will never be won't be made again during this series. But what do you think? How do you think it'll change the course of this particular series for the rest of the remainder of the way?
Listen, everybody's human, and like you said, everybody makes mistakes. But let's go back to Game 7, Houston versus Golden State. When they miss that many calls against James Harden, it's not being human. That's something that's personal that either the league or that group of officials has against him, because he totally got screwed in that game. So until they start advancing these referees in a way based on merit, you're always going to have that, because you look at that Game 7, that was a disaster. Yet you're going to have Scott Foster, Mike Callahan, and I forget who the other referee was in that Game 7. You're going to have them ref in the NBA Finals. Show me some business or job that you can have where you can just totally screw up and you can advance to the next level and get a $25,000 bonus. It just confuses the league and the fans and everybody else as to, why this happens. NCAA tournament, you have a referee that referees in the first, second, or third round. They're not advancing to the next round if they screw up a game and basically embarrass the NCAA and the league. They're sitting that referee down till next year, hoping he improves and gets better. The NBA, they just seem to continue to get to that next level and advance them for that playoff bonus.
So for me as a fan and the millions of other fans out there, how can we watch basketball, and know that everything is on the up and up, and that there's again, you guys are humans, but how can we watch basketball and not think that these things are happening?
You can't. You can't, unless you're an idiot and a moron, because they continue to happen every year. We progress, and the rules are the same, but the referees stay the same, and the referees still advance even when they make drastic mistakes in games. So they came out and tell you that they put the best on the floor. They have the highest integrity, these referees, and I just sit there and literally, Michael, laugh my ass off, because, Here you got 12 referees in the NBA Finals. 8 of them are trying to bang every goddamn flight attendant or lady in a hotel from here to California, and they got a wife and 3 kids at home, and they want to talk about their fucking integrity? Come on, cut me a break.
This is great, man. I'm so glad you came on the podcast. All right, listen, Tim, I'm going to let you go. Maybe if there's some other crazy shit, you could come on and talk more about the finals and just about basketball in general, because, you know, I'm such a fan of the game. And, you know, why is it that no referees, whether even like retired guys like Dick Bavetta, who's a colorful personality, is there a rule that like you're never allowed to sort of tell your stories after you leave the league? Because I like, for me as a fan, like, you know, like Dick Bavetta, he's like a famous referee that a lot of people know. He's the guy that raced Charles Barkley, bald-headed guy, always seemed like he was having a good time. He refereed until he was like, you know, 70-something years old. Like, I would love to hear all his basketball stories. Is there like a rule, like you sign a thing, like you could never share, like, you know, everything you saw refereeing the game?
What happens is, Michael, is people don't realize this, but in every NBA city, they have observers that go and they rate the referees and they chart these calls. They retire and they give them a job in their home city, you know, doing this stuff. So you're not going to come out and start talking, because referees aren't allowed to talk to the press. Employees aren't allowed to talk to the press. Now you have a guy like Dick Bavetta. I don't know if there's a new rule put in since my situation that has to do with their retirement and pension, that they're not allowed to do this stuff or write books. But I'm sure that there's something in place right now after my situation that in order to continue to get your pension, or, you know, you're not allowed to disparage the league, or there's something in the collective bargaining agreement. There's no doubt in my mind that, you know, that's the case. And they, you know, the guys that don't take the jobs, which 95% of them do, you know, just float away and keep their mouth shut.
Right. All right, Tim. Well, I appreciate that. This is about as a front row seat that you could get. So I appreciate you coming on the podcast and giving us this insight. This is my opinion. This is the best shit out there, because I just really appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. You know it. And next time I'm in New York, we'll grab some lunch. Where are you? You in L.A.?
I'm in L.A. now. I'll be in New York soon. But we'll stay in touch and we'll finally meet face to face.
You got it, pal.
All right, Tim. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you, buddy.
I want to thank special guest Tim Donaghy. I hope you come back to talk more hoops. You know, the guy refereed. He knows what these guys are like. He knows what their breath smells like. He knows if they have body odor. He knows what players talk shit, who doesn't talk shit, and so much more. Thank you for coming on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. G Moody, last name rhymes with duty. Sunday, we are pre-gaming in San Francisco. Get tickets to see us live. Clusterfest.com. Clusterfest.com. The game starts at 6:15. Me and G Moody will be getting off the stage at 6 and watching the game nearby, live in San Francisco. Clusterfest.com. Miles Jordan, take us out of here with something nice. Something that Kanye didn't do, a smacker. Let me get something funky. I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. I'm out.